Hi there guys, this is Steve Carson. I just wanted to let you know I am so excited to finally introduce the PENN Low Profile 500 bait cast reels. 25 pounds of drag, massive stainless steel main gear, double cast controls, high speed retrieve, standard speed retrieve. See them in your store in the fall of 2025. Wanted to show you a couple of different things that are pretty exciting. One is a technique that you can start using right away for those foamers on those school-sized bluefin tuna. It's not going to be a technique to catch 150-pound tuna, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun when those smaller fish are around, those 15, 25, 35-pound fish that are foaming on top, and you can't quite figure out what to make them bite. This is quite often the most effective thing to make them bite, and that is a clear popper. I know that goes against everything you've been taught all your life on fishing. Fish want a certain color, they want the blue, they want green, they want red, they want whatever it is that they want. But what you've got in those foamers is you don't really want them to get a good view of anything. You want them just to kind of see the pop, maybe see a vague outline of something, maybe an eyeball, and then they go for it. It really is amazing. And there's a couple of different brands on the market. This happens to be the Rapala X-Rap, and but there are plenty of other ones that work. I also like to add a little extra on the front to my tie. I add a heavy-duty owner split ring and a solid ring. Gives the lure a little bit more motion, and I like tying to a solid ring rather than to a split ring or just to a plain wire. Your mileage may vary. Also, because we're not fishing for the real big ones, I do still like to add maybe about 2 or 3 feet of a bite leader of 80-pound test. I just use a 4-turn surgeon's knot to attach that, and then I like to fill mine with 80-pound test and have about maybe a 25 or 30 foot top shot of 50. That gives me good casting for everything from surface iron to the clear poppers to pretty much whatever it is that you want to use. And yes, I'm going to turn this around so that you guys can see it. This is the PENN Fathom Low Profile 500. There's going to be 2 different versions of it. One is the high-speed version, which I like better for the poppers and for stick baits, yo-yo jigs, and some surface iron. We'll get to that in a minute. And that is a 6.7 to 1 gear ratio. Both models have 25 pounds of drag. You can't really see it. You're just going to have to trust me. A gigantic stainless steel main gear. This thing's got just an amazing amount of power. 2 different cast controls, an internal and an external. You kind of have to play with that a little bit to get it set the way you like it. And then you can just fine tune the external one once you get it down to what you like to do. And then a 4.5 to 1 version, which can give you a little bit more power. So if you're mainly fishing with bait, you may want that. It's also a little bit better with plastics and certain other types of lures where you're going to be wanting to wind a little bit slower, including some of your old school surface iron. Your old school surface iron like Caddy 45s, Salis 7Xs, candy bars, that kind of stuff were created 50, 60 years ago when the only reel was a PENN Jigmaster 500, which was 25 inches per turn. So they were optimized for that speed, and here we're at 29 inches per turn, so that you're pretty much replicating that original speed. If you want to just get the faster one and wind slower, that's on you. You can certainly do that. But they do make both versions. I've used both versions, caught a lot of fish with both. They're both great. So in your stores in the fall of 2025, they're going to be about $4.99. PENN Fathom Low Profile 500, and don't forget your clear poppers for those foamer bluefin. We'll see you out there.